Is it all about respect? What's up, social world? ¿Qué tal, mundo social? Mr. Mom here with another video. Just a little bit regarding respect. And my story starts off when I was 8 years old. My mom sent me to Peru for the summer vacation, which over in Peru, it's winter, middle of the school year over there. And because they have opposites. We're in summer, they're in winter. They're in winter, we're in summer, blah, blah, blah. So right now it's a rainy day in January. Over there it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day because it's below the equator. It's the southern hemisphere. But anyway, when I was 8 years old, there was a park just a block away from my house. A small block. I could literally see the park from just barely, like right between the street, because it was like kind of going diagonally a little bit. But I could see the park from my living room window. And when I went there, it's just it just looked gray, just dark and gray piece of land that was designated to become a park. And so I remember, even though it was a grayish place, it was the safest place to go play, because you weren't playing on the streets, avoid getting hit by a car. And so I remember that. Then a couple years later, I go back to Peru, end up staying for 4 years. But in the beginning, I had just completed the 6th grade here, went over there, supposedly supposed to be my summer vacation, but again, they were in school. So for me not to be too bored, they sent me to a little school that was like a block and a half, but this block was one of those long blocks, probably equals like 5 blocks. But it's right down the street. And the park was now starting to be developed. And it's not like here or nowadays like here, where you just roll out the grass. No, they had to plant it by seed and seedlings and little pieces at a time. And so it was still pretty much dirt with little specks of green all over the place. Started planting flowers and roses, but they also put a basketball court that you could play little soccer games. So it was the arch of the soccer, and with the basketball hoops. So that was the place where all the kids would go to play. But the organization, the HOA, basically the homeowners association of that area, didn't want the kids to play in it until it was fully developed. But the kids are kids, and they wanted to play. And they didn't disrespect the park. They just wanted to play on what was already set. It was concrete. It was already basically painted up and everything. They just wanted to play there. But when you play soccer, when you play basketball, the ball goes out of bounds and goes into those plants. So there would be a bunch of arguments between kids and young adults and older people about playing in the park. And yes, the kids and the young adults, would sometimes cuss out the old people and stuff like that. And the older folks would always try to kick him out. The adults would always try to kick him out of the park, and made it difficult for the kids to play. Then arrives me. And I turn around and I start arguing for them. Because here in the United States, we're taught, what about my rights? Our rights? Your rights? We all have rights. My arguments, we have the right to play. It's a park. Where else are the kids supposed to go play? There's no other parks around in the area where you could play a little soccer game. Where else are we supposed to go? But I didn't cuss at them. I didn't disrespect them. but I did argue back, and I made good points, but they didn't like that. And here's where it comes to respect. Older generations believe that respect is given right away because they're older. That's not true. No matter what age you are, respect is earned. Not given, earned. Once you earn it, then it's given at that point. But not automatically, just because you're older, you get respect. No. There's a lot of ding-dongs out there that you wouldn't respect because it's just not there. So respect is earned. And they would always tell me, you're being disrespectful. Why do you disrespect me or disrespect us? And I said, respect is earned, not given. I used to give that argument all the time. And I used to tell them, we play at the park because it's a safe place for us to play. Where else are we supposed to go? You want us to play on the streets? Get hit by a car? Would you feel better about that? Would you feel good if we got hit by a car? No. So we got to play at the park. We're not trying to disrespect the park, but we're trying to play at the park. So I actually ended up gaining a lot of respect. And of course, you know, there was even a little bit probably reverse racism, possibly, because the little white boys trying to tell all these older Peruvian men, been there the whole life, own the homes and stuff like that. I'm technically a visitor, but I ended up staying for almost 4 years. But you know, I kind of put them in their place. I gained their respect. I go around the neighborhood, they all would say, you know, good afternoon, good evening, whatever, good morning to me, and I would reciprocate, do the same. And then of course I gained respect of the young adults and the kids, because the kids would actually get in a group behind me, and I tell them, just be quiet, don't do anything, let me talk. And I would talk, and then usually the older gentleman would walk away and let us play. But there's a story also to that. The little school that I used to go to was exactly on the opposite side of the block to the park, and that's where we would go for health education, for physical education, which basically is the boys would go play a little soccer game, and the girls would stand on the side chatting. But that's what we would do. And again, the park was in its development. Mostly you saw dirt with a bunch of specks of green. But again, when you're playing any kind of a game, you play baseball, foul ball. You play basketball, the ball goes out to the sides. You play soccer, the ball goes outbounds. It's just what happens. So there was a gardener there, older gardener that was in charge of developing the park. Mean old gardener with a mean old dog too. Little mixed dog, mean as hell, because his owner was mean as hell too. That's just the way it was. And then one day we're playing a little soccer game there, and the ball goes out of bounds and goes pretty close to where he was. And he used to always threaten us, if I grab that ball, you're not gonna get it back. I'm gonna punch it with a hole. And he'd show us this big old curved knife that was used for gardening. I'm gonna grab that ball, you're not gonna get it back. I'm gonna destroy your ball. Just all kinds of threat. He only had one eye too, which made him a little bit scarier. Forgot about that. Anyway, the ball goes out of bounds. Nobody wants to go grab it because it's close to the gardener. I'm like, the heck with it. What's he gonna do to me? And the gardener sees the ball, and he's like a little bit of distance, so he starts walking towards the ball. There I go running towards the ball. He knew he wasn't gonna get there in time. He grabbed a rock. Nice sized rock. He grabbed the rock, and he threw it. It went over my head, but to the side. But still, he threw it at me. I was able to get the ball, run back. I became the hero of the school automatically because of that. But lo and behold, my teacher, A young lady, she's probably in her early 20s, cute as the dickens, very pretty, would wear the a decent mini skirt and real high heels, pretty as could be, very light skin, very close to light skin as I am, curly little hair and stuff like that, very pretty, extremely patient, extremely nice. We got away with murder with her. Boy, she turned red, mad as heck. She got pissed. And then all of a sudden you saw this little young beauty here going across the basketball court, the court, and boy, he told off that gardener off. She didn't care who he was, what he looked like, if he had a knife or not, she didn't care. She went over there and told him off. How dare you throw a rock at one of my students? What the heck is wrong with you? I don't think she cussed. I don't remember hearing her cuss, which, you know, she's a teacher. She should cuss anyway. But she went off on him. And I'm pretty sure she went to the HOA association and complained and said, what the heck is going on? And because that gardener afterwards, whenever it was physical education, whenever we went over there, whenever the school showed up, he would always be at the other end of the school. So I became the hero of the school, and to me that teacher was a hero because she went, turned around and defended her students right away. Like, she just turned as the way it should be. Anyway, respect is earned. No matter how old you are, respect is earned. You can respect kids. You can show kids respect. You should show kids respect so that they learn to respect their elders. They're not going to respect their elders if you don't teach them what respect is. Teach them to respect each other. Teach them, of course, to respect you and people around them. Just because a person is older than somebody doesn't mean they deserve your respect automatically. Nope. It doesn't work that way. Your respect is earned. Teach that to your kids. Teach that to kids around you, nieces, nephews. Heck, teach it to other adults, because other adults could learn a thing or two about that. Nowadays, respect, it's going out the door. Everybody's willing to insult each other. People drive like crazy. They don't respect each other on the road, just like I'm seeing right now. But anyway, respect is earned and not given. Let me know something that happened to you as a kid or recently about respect. Comment below. Share with your friends. I hope you enjoy this. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on my Instagram or Facebook or next video here on YouTube. Bye for now.